My fiancée texted minutes before the wedding, "I can't do this. I reject you." I replied to the officiant, "Slight change of plans." Then I announced her rejection, turned the wedding party into a celebration of dodging a bullet. 72 hours later, she was frantically begging for another chance after her escape plan failed. Original post, and I'm sitting here typing this while my not wedding reception is happening downstairs. Wild, absolutely surreal. It was today, our wedding day. Months of planning, deposits paid that would make your eyes water, family flown in, the whole 9 yards. Amber, 29F, and I were supposed to be saying I do about 6 hours ago. 5 minutes before I was supposed to walk out, standing there in my tux feeling nervous but excited, my phone buzzed. It was Amber. My heart did a little flip, thinking it was some cute pre-wedding message. "Nope, Amber, Vincent, I'm so sorry, I can't do this, I reject you." That was it. I reject you. Like some kind of medieval royal drama. I stared at the screen. Read it again and again. The world kinda tilted, rejected. 5 minutes before go time, my first thought, oddly, practicality. All these people waiting, the venue booked, the open bar. My best man Brian came over, looking worried. "Vincent, you okay, man? Time to go." I showed him the phone. His jaw dropped. No freaking way. Something inside me just clicked, shifted from shock to this weird, cold calm. The hurt was there, massive, like a boulder in my gut, but the surface went smooth as ice. I found the officiant, a kindly older gentleman looking confused by the delay. "Slight change of plans," I said, my voice steady. Too steady, maybe. Then I walked out. Alone. Stood where we were supposed to stand together. The guests looked puzzled, then concerned. Whispers started. Took the mic, cleared my throat. "Welcome everyone," I started. The room went silent. "There's been a development. About 5 minutes ago, I received a text message from Amber." I paused, looked around at the sea of faces. My family, her family, our friends. It said, and I quote, "Vincent, I'm so sorry. I can't do this. I reject you." Gasps, a couple of horrified cries from her side of the aisle. My mom looked like she was going to faint. "So," I continued, keeping my voice even, "it appears there will be no wedding today. Amber has made her choice." Another pause. Let it sink in. "However," I raised my voice slightly, "everything is paid for. The bar is open, the food is ready, and the band is here. So tonight isn't a wedding reception. It's a celebration. A celebration of honesty, even when it's brutal. A celebration of dodging a bullet, and a celebration of support from friends and family." I raised my water glass, didn't trust myself with champagne yet. "So please, eat, drink, enjoy yourselves. Let's have a party anyway. To dodging bullets." Absolute stunned silence for about 5 seconds. Then Brian started clapping. My family joined in. Slowly, hesitantly, others did too. Some of Amber's family looked horrified, angry even. Her parents and sister Danielle practically ran out. A few guests awkwardly made their excuses, maybe 30% peeled off quickly. But the rest stayed. And downstairs, it's a party. Sort of. A really, really weird gathering happening now, 6 hours later. The band is playing something upbeat, but the mood is bizarre. People are drinking, a lot. Some are trying to dance, others are just standing in clumps looking shell-shocked or talking quietly. My dad gave me a hug that almost broke my ribs. Whispered, "Her loss, son. Huge loss." It took a while for any semblance of a celebration vibe to emerge. Mostly fueled by my close friends trying to keep my spirits up, the open bar, and maybe sheer disbelief. I'm up here just trying to process. The cost, God, the cost. Venue, catering for 150, flowers, attire, the non-refundable prepaid honeymoon package, easily upwards of $60 sunk into this, mostly by me and my parents. Gone. Poof. Haven't heard a peep from her since the text. No calls, nothing. How she physically got from the bridal suite, presumably mid-preparation, to wherever Jordan was waiting, I have no idea, and honestly I don't care. Doesn't matter now. The text was the kill shot, so yeah. Currently hosting the most expensive, awkward, dodged a bullet gathering ever. Send booze, or maybe coffee, IDK. Update 1. Hey Reddit, been a week since the rejection text. Thanks for all the comments and messages, seriously helped reading through them during the weird aftermath. So, the party/gathering thing. It actually turned into something memorable in a strange way. After the initial shock and awkwardness, the people who stayed leaned into the dodging a bullet theme. My friends were amazing, kept me surrounded, made sure I wasn't just wallowing. Lots of toasts, some angrier than others. Ended up being a massive release, I think. Weirdly cathartic by the end of the night. The cleanup was less fun, dealing with vendors, explaining why the bride, wasn't present. Most were sympathetic, especially once the story got around. Small town effect, kinda. Still out that sickening amount of non-refundable cash. We're trying to return gifts where possible, especially from her side. Anything else? Probably donating. The honeymoon suite at the hotel? Slept in it alone. That was grim. Now, for the update you're probably waiting for. Amber. Silence for the first 72 hours, absolute zero. Then, Tuesday night, my phone blew up. Missed calls, voicemails, frantic texts. I made a mistake, a terrible, terrible mistake. We need to talk. It wasn't what it looked like. Please, Vincent. I love you. Yeah, so it turns out her grand escape plan didn't quite pan out. Pieced it together from a couple of mutual acquaintances who were horrified on my behalf. Apparently, Amber wasn't just getting cold feet, she was leaving for someone. Guy named Jordan. Older, flashy car, promised her the world, apparently. The plan was, she ditches the wedding, meets up with him, and they drive off into the sunset to start some amazing new life he had all set up. Except, Jordan's flash was all smoke and mirrors. The amazing new life involved him expecting her to bankroll things once her rich husband, aka me, was secured and presumably paying hefty guilt money or alimony down the line. When it became clear there was no rich husband, only an abruptly canceled wedding and a very pissed-off groom, Jordan reportedly lost interest fast. Ditched her at a gas station somewhere 3 states away by Wednesday morning, according to one source. Brutal. So now the desperate calls. I answered one yesterday. Morbid curiosity, maybe. Vincent? Oh, thank God. Sobbing, hysterical. Amber? Just flat. Vincent, I messed up so bad I wasn't thinking. It was the stress, the pressure. Jordan meant nothing. Please, we can fix this. We can just reschedule. Tell people I had a panic attack. The sheer audacity, the entitlement. Thinking she could just slot back in after detonating everything. Amber, I said, keeping my voice level. You texted me minutes before our wedding. You wrote, and I quote, I reject you. You had a bag packed and a guy waiting. There is nothing to fix. We are done. No, Vincent, don't say that. It was a mistake. I love you. More sobbing. Your actions say otherwise. You made your choice. Jordan didn't work out, so now you want your safety net back? No. But where will I go? What will I do? The panic was real now. The consequences were landing. That sounds like a you problem, Amber, not mine. Not anymore. Hung up. Blocked her number. Then came her sister Danielle. Called me spitting fire. Vincent, how dare you humiliate her like that? Announcing her text? Turning it into a joke party? She made a mistake. She was stressed. Danielle, I sighed. Tired of this already. She rejected me minutes before the wedding via text to run off with another guy who then dumped her. Announcing her exact words was transparency, not humiliation. The party happened because everything was paid for. She blew this up, not me. You should have protected her. Forgiven her. Forgive her for planning to ditch me at the altar for someone else? Protect her from the consequences of her own actions? Are you hearing yourself? She needs help. You have to help her. Where is she supposed to live? You threw her out. She'd moved her stuff into my place about a month before. She's not my responsibility anymore, Danielle. Goodbye. Blocked her too. Dealing with the practical fallout now. Sent her belongings to her parents' house via a delivery service. No way was I having another confrontation. The honeymoon, that 2-week all-inclusive trip to the Maldives I mentioned, the 18-car chunk of the total 60K plus loss, is non-refundable. Called the agency. Apparently, I can change the name of the second guest or get travel credit. Thinking about that, feels like I aged a decade in a week. But also, lighter? Definitely dodged that bullet. Update 2. Okay, read it. Month out from D-Day, dodged a bullet day. Things got predictably messy, then settled into a new kind of annoying. The rumor mill started churning, obviously fueled by Amber and Danielle. Suddenly, I was hearing whispers that I was the bad guy. Apparently, I was controlling, put too much pressure on her, and secretly called off the wedding myself, but framed her. The text? Oh, that was taken out of context or sent under duress. Seriously. Some people actually bought it. Mostly her distant relatives and friends who weren't close enough to know better. Lost a few Facebook friends over it. Oh well. I didn't fight it publicly. just calmly told anyone who asked directly. She texted me, "I reject you," 5 minutes before the wedding and left to be with someone else. That plan failed. These are the facts. Showed the text to a couple of key people who needed to hear it straight. Most people saw through her BS. Then came the demands. Texts from new numbers, emails, even a letter from her mom. They wanted compensation. Compensation for the wedding planning emotional labor she put in. Money for the belongings she left at my place, even though I shipped everything back. Demands for half the cash value of the wedding gifts, the ones already returned or donated. Danielle even suggested I should pay for therapy for Amber's trauma from the whole ordeal, the ordeal she caused. The sheer, unadulterated entitlement was breathtaking. They genuinely believed I owed her comfort and cash after she tried to ditch me at the altar. I consulted a lawyer just to cover my bases. He laughed at their demands, confirmed she had zero legal standing for anything. Sent one single formal email back via my lawyer. Vincent considers the matter closed. Amber unilaterally terminated the relationship and wedding plans. No funds or compensation are owed. Any further demands will be treated as harassment. Block the new numbers and email addresses. Now, the satisfying part. The revenge, if you can call it that. It wasn't about hurting her, exactly. It was about reclaiming something she threw away and refusing to let her spectacularly bad decision cost me everything. The honeymoon. That $18 non-refundable Maldives trip. Amber had been obsessed with it. Talked about it constantly. Picked the specific overwater bungalow. The travel agent confirmed I couldn't get cash back, but I could change the second name or take the full value as credit for future travel within a year. Letting $18 just evaporate felt wrong. Wasting it felt like letting her win, somehow. So I called my best man, Brian. "Dude," I said, "what are you doing next week?" He was confused, I explained. His response? "Holy crap, yes, we went. 2 weeks ago. Flew first class, part of the package. Stayed in that exact overwater bungalow Amber picked out. Went diving, drank fancy cocktails, enjoyed the sun. Didn't wallow, didn't even talk about Amber much after the first day. Just enjoyed a ridiculously luxurious trip that was meant for a different life." The day before we left, I posted exactly one photo on my private Instagram. Just me and Brian, grinning, holding cocktails, stunning blue water behind us. Caption, "Making the best of an unexpected situation, paradise found." Didn't tag anyone, didn't mention weddings or bullets, but I knew Amber or Danielle or her mom would see it eventually. And they did. Turns out a mutual friend, one of those people who tries to stay friends with everyone, took a screenshot and sent it straight to Danielle, thinking they were keeping her informed or maybe just stirring the pot. Predictable drama ensued. Heard through a reliable source, Danielle went ballistic when she saw it. Apparently, Amber cried for hours. Not tears of remorse, mind you. Tears of frustrated entitlement. How dare I enjoy the honeymoon she was supposed to have? Yeah, how dare I? Final update. Hey all, time for the final chapter on this whole saga. It's been about 4 months now, and the dust has well and truly settled. The demands stopped completely after my lawyer's email. Guess the reality that they had zero legal standing finally hit home. The smear campaign fizzled out too. Turns out, when your story is full of holes, and the other person just sticks to the verifiable facts, the text, the timing, the other guy, it doesn't have legs. So, what happened to Amber? Heard it all through mutual friends who kept me loosely updated. Mostly out of sympathy for me, I think. After Jordan dumped her and she realized I wasn't taking her back, she stayed with Danielle for a while. Apparently, it was a disaster. Amber expected Danielle to basically be her new support system, emotionally and financially. Didn't look for work, complained constantly, treated Danielle's place like a hotel. Lasted about 2 months before Danielle kicked her out. Sisterly love has its limits, especially when your sister torpedoed her own life through sheer selfishness. Amber ended up having to move back in with her parents. She apparently found some low-level admin job, but is constantly complaining about being broke and how unfair it all is. How I ruined her life. The victim narrative is still going strong in her head, apparently. Zero accountability. Zero remorse. Just bitterness that her grand plan failed and she's facing consequences. Jordan is long gone, wants nothing to do with her. As for me, I'm doing good. Really good, actually. The initial weeks were rough, no lie. Felt like a fool, heartbroken, angry. But that dodged-a-bullet party gathering, as weird as it was, set the tone. My friends and family rallied. Going on that honeymoon trip with Brian was the best decision. It was a clean break, a way to reclaim something positive from the wreckage. Financially, yeah, I took a hit. That 60 cal plus for the wedding and honeymoon is gone forever. But it's just money. What I gained back was my self-respect and freedom from someone who clearly never valued me or our relationship. Small price to pay, in the grand scheme of things. The revenge? It wasn't about destruction. It was about demonstration. Demonstrating that my life went on, even improved without her. Demonstrating that the luxury and stability she took for granted and threw away were things I provided and I could still enjoy. The Maldives trip photo was the perfect, quiet embodiment of that. It wasn't an attack. It was a statement of survival and moving forward. Seeing her entitlement crash against the wall of her own consequences? That was the real justice. She didn't just lose a fiancé, she lost the comfortable life she arrogantly assumed was hers by right, and her escape route turned out to be a dead end built on lies. That empty feeling she has now, she built that. I've been focusing on work, hitting the gym, reconnecting with friends. Started dating casually again recently. Nothing serious, but it feels good to be open to possibilities. My apartment feels like my space again. Amber wanted out. She got out. In the most dramatic, damaging way possible for herself. She rejected me, and in doing so, rejected the future she thought she had secured. Now, she's living with the fallout. That's the consequence. That's the justice. And honestly, that's satisfying as hell. Thanks for letting me vent and process here, Reddit. You guys were a huge help. Time to properly close this chapter. Peace out.